Hello, this is Dr. Darnise, and welcome back into another episode of Dr. Darnise's House of Religion, Magic, and Conjure. Hey, we are at the end of the year, y'all. We are counting down, right? Just a couple of days before the new year. And so, of course, I want to come on and remind you about the course that I'm doing right now, How to Plan and Prosper in 2023. Well, more specifically, how Black women can plan and prosper in 2023. And I know, some of the guys out there are like, what about us? And so, yeah, rest assured, I have something for y'all, or rather, I have something for everybody. And so I'm thinking about doing that tarot class. So if you're interested in a class with me, make sure you comment below which one, like, yes, the tarot class, or yes, the Plan and Prosper in 2023 class. That's what I need you to put, because, we're getting we're going to do Saturdays in January up until February 4th. So it's 5 weeks, and, we'll be meeting via Zoom, and we will be putting some verbs in our sentences, so to speak, in terms of using our intuition. Like I'm calling it, use your intuition as your magic wand, because it's your intuition and your intention that is going to allow you to manifest most powerfully, right? So the way magic works is because you apply yourself, you apply your mindset, informed by your intuition, and then you put some action steps, right? So that's what I mean by, pulling this group together to do How to Plan and Prosper in 2023, because it's important to get some foundational pieces together, right? It's one thing to just do the vision board thing, because then most of us end up just putting it somewhere in a closet or wherever, right? Wherever there's room for it. And then we don't give it any energy. So you've gone to all this trouble, maybe the first week of the new year, and you've gathered up your pictures and you put them on this board or wherever you put them, and then you don't give it any energy. And that means that, since you're not pouring energy into it, it's less likely to manifest. So anyway, the course again is How Black Women Can Plan and Prosper in 2023, because there are some real specific things that Black women are dealing with in this world. And so that's why I do this work for Black women, especially Black women over 40. Even if you're not over 40, you can come and join that particular class. I have a whole other, VIP group coaching program for Black women over 40. So if you want more of that, if you want the one-on-one coaching, if you want, more one-on-one with me where I can really help you, then, get in touch, put that in the comment. But anyway, I do want to talk today about the Mercury retrograde season that we're in right now. Mercury went retrograde today, December 29th, and it will be there through January 18th. And so what I want to ask you is, are you about to text your ex? Have you heard from one of your exes? Because 'tis the season. And so what you might notice also is I'm uploading quite a few shorts. Those of you who are interested in the tarot, watch for the shorts. I'm uploading my tarot reads. I'm calling it my tarot journey, hashtag Libra Tarot. I'm a Libra Sun, Cancer rising, and Gemini moon. Libra, Gemini, Cancer. Okay. So, yeah, you may see that I was talking in one of the shorts about, hey, has your ex been trying to reach out to you, or have you been reaching out to your ex? Because that's common. A retrograde period is that time where we think about redoing, revisiting. We become nostalgic. You've probably heard before, communication can get kind of wonky. Yeah, because there's kind of a particular kind of static in the air. Mercury rules Mercury is the planet of communication. So when it is retrograde, meaning that it seems like it's going backwards, then of course there's a lack of clarity. So as you're during this season up until January 18th, if you are commonly texting people or emailing people, remember, you might have to follow up with a phone call. A lot of people don't want to be bothered with phone calls anymore, but you might have to, just to make sure that everybody's on the same page, because communication can get, muddled. You might find that you're having issues with your phone, or issues with the internet, issues with a streaming service, whatever it is, but it's just like static. And so if something is a really important communication, you want to make sure, like, okay, I sent you a text. Hey, did you get my text? Or, hey, I sent you an email. Did you get my email? Or, I've been trying to call you. So you might just want to follow up and make sure people get the intent behind what you were communicating. Because, when you text something, sometimes people be like, well, that sounded rude or whatever. So just know, in a retrograde season, communication can be wonky. Follow up. And, people will always tell you, don't sign any big major contracts, right? Try to hold off on doing anything major, like, buying a car, even buying a computer, right? Because it's an electronic device. Sometimes you just can't help it. There's a certain deal that you got to take advantage of before January 18th. And so, keep your receipts. It's the best you can do, right? But if it's like a house, if it's a car, just wait until February. And so again, Mercury retrograde, meaning it seems like it's going backwards, can make us feel nostalgic, can make us feel like we want to contact somebody from the past. Sometimes it's an ex, sometimes it's a different kind of relationship from the past, somebody like a family member you haven't spoken to in a long time, a relationship that maybe is in need of revisiting for some reason. That could be family relationships where it's not necessarily that you want to go back and, even if it's an ex, start that relationship again, but maybe there's something that's left, that's unfinished. And it would be better for you if you could kind of get some closure around it. So now is a good time actually to go back and revisit that relationship issue, even if it's just to get closure. Okay, so don't freak out about Mercury retrograde. People are like, oh, I don't really know much about it, but I know you're not supposed to do anything. It's just a time of revisiting, remembering, going back over things. So give yourself some grace, give yourself a break, spend some time, in solitude or, planning, right? Spend some time planning. So the course that I'm doing is about planning and prospering in 2023. And what we're doing is we're getting ourselves set up, right? It's not like we're necessarily going to do anything in January, but we're doing the planning process in January. So, and a lot of times planning means you got to go back into your own personal experience and to, previous experiences over your lifetime and figure out, why have I been in this same pattern over and over and over? Because that's mostly what's keeping people from manifesting the life that they say they want. It's because we have a track in our mind that is sabotaging ourselves. It's the little kid in us who got disappointed, got our feelings hurt, whatever it is, back in the day, back when we were kids. And that kid is still there. This is a high level teaching I'm giving to you right now. That little kid still needs your attention. And as long as they don't get your attention, they're the ones making your decisions for you. Real talk. That may sound like, what? Yeah, they're the ones making your decision. So during a retrograde, it's a really good time to do some meditation and some healing work over the inner child or the shadow kind of stuff. And when I say shadow, I mean that aspect of yourself, of ourselves, that we really don't want to think about. So think about how you behave or how you feel when you are really stressed or really tired or really angry. What comes out? What's that part of yourself that you really don't want to talk about? Or what are some things in the past from your childhood, let's say, that you feel somewhat ashamed of? Who's that person? How old were you? Right? And then you probably began kind of covering up in some of those ways. So during a Mercury retrograde, you go back and visit those things and heal that stuff. That's why a retrograde is good, to return, review, reminisce upon those things, right? So that you can get some healing. And sometimes what you need to do is go back to your inner child, do the inner child work, and embrace them, hug them, let them know, hey, you're safe now. We're safe now. I got you. I'm taking care of everything, right? Let them know it's okay now. It's safe now. They're loved, they're appreciated, they're acknowledged. Because when you do that, you heal. So that as an adult, you're actually better able to make decisions consciously. You don't fly off the handle. You don't, kind of give into these other kind of impulses. And you're like, I don't know why I always end up doing that. I don't know why I sabotage my relationships. I don't know why I never do this, or I don't know why this always happens. Because if you're in a state of mind where you're like, I don't know why this kind of thing always happens to me, I call that repeat performances. And you need to come into the class, plan and prosper. Because in my coaching with people, I take people back into that stuff, really, because it's still making decisions for us, and we got to heal that. We got to go back into that. So when I say to you during this retrograde period, how are you going to spend your time? Spend your time reminiscing, reviewing, so you can heal. And if you feel like reaching out to somebody from your past, a family member, a friendship that, you kind of lost touch with the person, an ex-love for the purpose of closure or healing, that's fine. But, if you reach out to that ex-lover, it may not be that thing actually gets started again and becomes the greatest relationship of your life. I mean, it could, of course, but most likely it's just that people feel somewhat nostalgic. And so it could be that you just need to have a conversation with that ex and close it out, or, make amends, or whatever it is. Maybe somebody owe you money. You owe them money, or they owe you money, and you got hard feelings. And in the retrograde, you can go back and repair that, right? Because we're trying to become mature, spiritually awakened people. And you can't if you're hanging on to old petty stuff. Like if you're still mad at somebody, even if they owe you money, nobody wants to feel like they lost money or got taken advantage of, right? But even then, at some point, you gotta let it go. Because what you gonna do? You can't carry that anger. It's poison for you to carry that anger. So use a retrograde period to go back and heal that kind of stuff, or at least try to talk it out and get some resolution, so you're not carrying it forward into 2023, right? So we're going to do this program, How Black Women Can Plan and Prosper in 2023. And we're going to do this on live via Zoom, Saturdays in January from the 7th through February 4th. So it's actually 5 weeks. And so if you're interested, then comment below that you're interested in the Plan and Prosper 2023 program. And, some people have already been in touch with me, and I've already sent them the information, and they're signing up. So you want to get in too. Okay. So again, this retrograde period, even if you reconnect with that person, keep in mind that it might not be the thing that you need to stay with for the rest of your life, right? It might just be a fleeting thing. Let it be that. Just let it be that. Don't come with a whole bunch of expectations. Let it be that. Mercury is regularly going retrograde throughout any, year-long process. So we will be here again. But remember, don't get attached to anything during a Mercury retrograde. Just kind of let it flow. Okay, so that's all for now. And again, I look forward to seeing you in the class. So please comment below about getting the details for it and the registration link. All right, bye for now.